Hi, everyone. Today we're going to be talking about data, information, and society. So, what is this data, information, and society? Well, in one way, this is simply just the name of this course. So, this course is about data. And what is data? Well, data are the objects, the records, the documents, the zeros and ones in the computers. And what is information? Well, information is the interpretation, the concept, the knowledge, the understanding. And well, what is society? Society is the social system. I don't like defining things with the same similar word, but just one word in social systems. What else is society? What is a society to you? People and, and their interactions. I was thinking the other day, is there with a society of one person? Was there ever a society of one person? So data, information, and society. So this course is about these three major concepts and how data are produced and utilized in society. And also there's another concept here, organization, which includes both, the basic ones are public and private. They're similar and there are other ways to think about them. But government, nonprofit agencies, then private, often profit maximizing agencies in the capitalist system that we have in economics, but also, of course, democratic and republican in the politics, at least to some extent. So we don't really get to politics that much, but we do focus on the organization and the impacts of data, information, and of course, another concept important here, the technology. And the technology also impact on the society, the organizations, and their society impact on the technology. So I felt that these three concepts were a good way to resume and summarize the major content of this course. But of course, you will have to see exactly more specifically what we will focus on to understand what we will be doing. But let me mention something here about the roles and functions related to IT, because this is intended to be a practical course and we expect people to have goals of specific careers in mind when they're taking this class. So here's a list of some of the roles and functions related to information technologies more specifically. There are many: database administrator, systems analyst and developer, software programmer, usability analyst, usability of systems, how easy a system is to use, user interface designer. It has to do with the graphic user interface that people interact with, which is of course different than the programming and for example software programmer or just more coding. Web developer developing web pages, and of course nowadays also we have kind of put it with this is app developer, which is actually similar to of course software programming. Data analyst actually is a little bit different. It's still mathematical, but a little bit different than programming. But they kind of combine the programming and scripting, and you program your data analysis. IT director, manager, higher senior positions, of course, are more managerial, but also related to IT. Web architect, web content manager. There's a lot of them. Don't have time to explain all of them, but you can take a look at which some of these may interest you more. System administrator, chief information officer, information security analyst, and of course, researcher, writer, other functions related to IT, but maybe not directly dealing with it. So here I wanted to give a perspective on my sort of philosophy and view for this course. And I draw here what I call the multidimensional spheres of work and life. And it's a little bit of in philosophy, they call epistemology, and about a little bit about the ontology. Now, I'm not going to get down too specific here, but epistemology, the way we know something, we can know something and know if something's true or not, or trust our own knowledge. And what does it mean? And what an ontology, which has to do with the nature, or I think of it almost kind of the physics of life. So I think life is takes place within multiple spheres, multiple dimensions, and they all impact us, and we impact them in turn. And by we, I mean human beings, but of course you could extend this to animals as well, but we can focus on human beings. I put them at the center here, but I don't really see humans as the center of all of existence. But for the diagram, I think it's useful. Of course, we're just on the side somewhere, but we do have spheres around us and within us. Of course, the family and the community most directly impacting us. There's the organization where we work, where we produce to society, or maybe serve society, or try to reap benefits from them. The organization actually is kind of an interesting entity, and because it's actually, it seems like maybe it's like odd where to place it, but there's family and community, maybe an organization beyond the family and community. Although we'll talk more about this concept later. A society where everything kind of happening, of course, the ecology where the society exists, which also maybe there's a link here to biology, which then of course goes all back to the beginning, the cycle of life. Also put a picture here of the Romanesque broccoli for the idea of fractals and how different spheres of life can happen at different other spheres of life. So this kind of sphere, multidimensional process is everywhere within spheres and across them and within ourselves and so on. So that's a little bit of how I view my work and also this class and life in general. Now, more specifically regarding the perspectives and questions we will actually address more directly in this class. I here have a list I think captures pretty much almost everything. So we have an information and systems science perspective. We'll talk about how to operate basic information technologies, how to plan for enterprise information technology development, how to create value from data and information technologies, how to develop usable and efficient systems. Now, of course, just some of these questions could be the topic for a whole semester length course. But so we'll at least mention some aspects of these 4 questions actually, and some of the other ones. So for example, from psychological and organizational science perspectives. So questions of how to manage organizations and successful projects. It does relate to information system science because they interact very closely. Also cognitive biases, culture, and gender as factors in IM, and IM here is information management. We use this term information management also throughout the class because this class used to be more focused in information management. We expanded a little bit, but this term is still relevant for us. Sociology and politics, so how to consider social causes and social implications of technologies. How does individual and corporate action impact social systems? So how the social systems impact us and we impact them. Laws and ethics as well. So how to consider and apply relevant laws of and ethics for information management and work on data and information, including information technology projects in organizations and in society. So we're going to be talking about a lot of stuff, and I hope you will like it. See you next time.